I mean, right now we find ourselves in the posture, as you know, Will, of having 5 appropriation bills and a continuing resolution to
This dude talks slow as shit. Let me go ahead and speed this up. 1 second. This motherfucker talking like a damn tortoise.
keep the Department of Homeland Security open. The Senate's already passed it. If the House doesn't pass it, a big portion of the federal government will be shut down. And that, in my judgment, would be top of the list, king of the hill, number one stupid. And it would be the Republicans' fault. Not only would it be bad policy.
No, you're right. It is the Republicans' fault because the Republicans are the people that advocated for the increase of ICE. So, of course, it's the Republicans' fault if it gets shut down because they advocated for the increase of ICE. Then they advocated for these ICE agents to be out on the streets, especially in Minnesota. So these instances that led to Democrats wanting decreased funding are a result of the decisions that the Republicans continue to make. So somebody has to put a check on what it is that they're doing, because obviously they can't check themselves. And the Republicans that are in Congress, whether it be the House or the Senate, in large part will not check the president and just let them run amok and give them the money to do it. So you're right. It will be on the Republicans. And the Democrats, hopefully, in the rare instance, show that they have a spine and don't sell out the American people in the name of Alex Preddy and Renee Nicole Good. Hopefully they stick to their guns, unlike the shutdown that they did back in October. But, you know, time is the best teacher, so we'll see in a moment.
I support the SAVE Act, but if you add it on to the bill, and then the legislation, all of it has to come back to the Senate, and it doesn't pass the Senate, then we would have to go into a government shutdown, and Republicans would be blamed. Senator Thune has already promised us that he would bring up the SAVE bill separately, and that just seems to me to be the smart way to go.
If it came,
yeah. So where we stand right now, they had told we as the people told Democrats in the House, hey, don't concede on a government shutdown unless you're going to do reforms to DHS and to ICE. They decided, hey, we're going to do this anyway. We'll pass it up to the Senate. In the meantime, between time of it leaving the House and going to the Senate, Alex Preddy was the second person, at least, to be murdered by agents under DHS. Renee Nicole Good was ICE. Alex Preddy was CBP. So it gets up to the Senate and they're reignited and say, okay, well, we're not just going to let things continue this way. We're going to give a little bit of a pushback. If that, Chuck Schumer said, oh, well, just put on a mask and wear a body cam, take off your mask. He said, oh, just take off your mask, put on a body cam, and then we'll see how things go. They send it back to the House. Once again, people in the House are being urged, don't pass this shit unless there are actual tangible reforms. Because you guys are going to sign on to them getting increased money. More people are going to potentially be brutalized, or more people are going to be brutalized, potentially murdered, and you guys are just giving them the green light to do it. So if they ask for these reforms, or they ask for additional reforms in the bill before it's signed, Kennedy's like, I'm not signing on to anything additional. Well, that's just going to be what it is. It's just going to be a deadlock or a gridlock, and we can't move forward. Because if you're not willing to make concessions about the shit that ICE is doing, or they're doing under the umbrella of DHS in these ICE operations, then it's a non-starter. We can't have more people dying just because you want to, quote unquote, stick to your guns. Fuck all that.
up separately. This has been a thing that's been lingering for a while, Senator. Could it pass a Republican House and a Republican Senate?
I think that most Republicans would vote for it. I would. Now, we've got a few free-range chickens on the Republican side. We may have to gather them up. The question will be which, if any, Democrats would vote for. I think we'd have to have some work to do there, but it's not insurmountable.
You had to, I'm going to ask you a serious question off something that I don't know how serious you were being. You paid a compliment to Senator John Fetterman. You talked about his attire. And by the way, I have a whole host of new compliments for Senator Fetterman. Despite our many, many disagreements, I continue to find him interesting and independent.
Of course you find him interesting because John Fetterman always sides with Republicans. Whenever it's something big going on in the media, he goes ahead and sides with Republicans. And, he's a dino. He's a Democrat in name only, and that's just his stick. Now, as far as his appearance, it's unprofessional, right? This is a grown man that's been elected to represent his people, and maybe he's trying to be true to the character of the people that he represents or something, or this is just, they're perfectly fine with it. But I find it inappropriate for a congressperson to be dressed like this, conducting official business, doing press conferences and all types of shit. And he's wearing hoodies and he's wearing, it looks like an AutoZone, a Jiffy Lube shirt. Like when you pull up the Jiffy Lube and the guys, they're checking you in right before they jump in the hole to change your oil. That looks like what he's wearing in some sports club or some country club shorts. So John Fetterman, I don't fuck with him. He's always siding with the Republicans, and he looks like shit. He looks like every kid that you went to school with that became a cop because he was getting bullied.